Hello, Jennifer again. I wanted to talk a little bit about the difference between the price of something and the cost of something, since I started getting into the different types of contracts. And I have my sister's violin, since my cello is too big to fit onto a camera, to illustrate this. So this is my sister's violin that I'm going to use to illustrate this. Now, the price of this violin, I'm not quite sure what it was, but I think it was about $2,000. It's handmade, etc. But the cost of this violin is going to be different, because the cost of the violin is going to be the cost of the wood, the raw materials, the varnish, the stain, the little screws down here, the strings, and the labor that went into making this. So, for instance, if I were to try and figure out the actual cost of this violin vice the price, I would have to find out what kind of wood this is. I would have to find out exactly how much the wood costs raw. I would have to find out the screws, the bridge, the neck of the violin here, and these pegs up here. I would have to figure out exactly the cost of all of those components. And then I would have to find a violin maker, and I would have to figure out what an average violin maker makes on an hourly rate, and find out how long it takes to make a violin. And then I would take the cost of the violin maker, the cost of the raw materials, the amount of time it takes to make the violin, and then also a component of the cost of this violin is shipping it to a vendor who's going to sell it. And the vendor is probably going to add some kind of markup rate on top of it to make their life worthwhile. And then there's going to be shipping and handling costs to get it to my sister when she bought it. So the price of this violin is going to have to include all of those costs, obviously, in order to make it worth it to sell the violin. And probably there's a chance for some reasonable profit in there as well. So in a price versus cost situation, the price is the total cost of the item without taking all of the individual elements. But the cost is the total price of all of the individual elements. And then, again, the price obviously is going to include some kind of markup rate. So with this violin, hopefully I've illustrated the difference between cost of an item versus the price of an item. Cost, don't know how much this cost because we didn't break it all out. But the price was approximately $2,000 or something of that sort. So hopefully this has illustrated the difference between price and cost for you.